It was 8:42 p.m. I was standing in the marble foyer of the crystal ballroom, holding a sparkling water I didn't want. This was my sister Sarah's night, the Golden Child's promotion gala. My phone buzzed in my clutch, a server alert from my cybersecurity firm, Aegis Prime. A minor glitch, but my parents didn't see a CEO, they saw a disruption. Sarah stepped toward me, her silk gown shimmering like oil on water. In front of her company's board of directors, she laughed, a sharp, practiced sound. "Don't mind Jessica," she announced, her voice carrying across the silent room. "She's our family's designated failure. She does freelance tech support from her couch while the rest of us run the world." My parents nodded, their eyes reflecting a curated pity. I didn't defend myself. I didn't mention that Sarah's firm was currently running on my encrypted backbone. I just looked at her boss, Mr. Sterling. He didn't look appalled. He just smiled. It was the smile of a man who had just recognized the apex predator in a room full of sheep. Have you ever been the smartest person in a room that treated you like a footnote? Share your story below. I read every one that I and my family, the roles were written in stone long before I learned to code. Sarah was the socialite, the public-facing VP of marketing, whose life looked like a perpetual high-fashion shoot. I was the scapegoat, the difficult one with the hobbyist job. But here is the data point they ignored: for 3 years, I have been the family's hidden cardiovascular system. While Sarah spent her 6-figure salary on Italian leather and penthouse views, her department at Sterling Tech was hemorrhaging cash due to her catastrophic management. My father, desperate to keep his golden child shining, called them emergency loans. Over $200,000 of my money earned from the secret success of Aegis Prime, was funneled into her accounts to mask her incompetence. They didn't see me as a sister, they saw me as a utility. A line item on a broken budget. They collected my help as a tax for the privilege of being tolerated. But as I watched Sarah smirk, I realized the debt was finally called in. The gala continued, but the air around our table had turned arctic. My father pulled a folded document from his tuxedo jacket, a family unity agreement. He spoke about legacy and supporting Sarah's visionary work at Sterling Tech. But as I scanned the legal jargon, the logic exposed the lie. It wasn't an agreement, it was a surrender. They wanted me to transfer the intellectual property rights of my core security protocols to Sarah's department for safekeeping. Sarah leaned in, her voice a condescending whisper. "It's for the best, Jess. You're too intense to manage something this big. Let the professionals handle the heavy lifting." That was the moment. My family wasn't just ungrateful, they were committing corporate espionage. They had promised my life's work to Sterling as a bargaining chip for Sarah's failing career. This wasn't a family dispute anymore. This was a business problem. And I am very, very good at solving business problems. I didn't get angry. I just opened the admin panel on my phone. The lights in the ballroom dimmed for the keynote presentation. Sarah stood center stage, a laser pointer in hand, ready to claim credit for a revolutionary, new security framework that she didn't realize I had built in my sleep. Behind her, the massive LED screen glowed with the Sterling Tech logo. My father beamed from the front row, already calculating the prestige. I sat in the shadows of the back table, my laptop glowing against my face. I didn't feel guilt. I felt the cold, clinical satisfaction of an architect removing a faulty support beam that I navigated to the Aegis Prime Master Console. I hovered over the enterprise license assigned to Sterling's marketing division. One click. Revoke Access. Effective immediately. A confirmation box popped up. Are you sure you want to terminate the live infrastructure? I clicked confirm. At 9:14 p.m., the screen behind Sarah didn't just flicker, it died. The golden child's entire digital world went dark, leaving her standing in a void of her own making. The silence in the ballroom was absolute. Sarah stood on stage, her laser pointer clicking frantically against a black screen, her face dissolving from professional poise into sheer, unadulterated panic. My father half rose from his seat, hisses of technical support escaping his lips as he glared at me. But Mr. Sterling didn't look at the stage. He turned his chair toward my back table. He didn't look annoyed, he looked exhilarated. The architecture of that blackout was beautiful, Sterling said, his voice carrying through the quiet room. Sarah gasped, "Sir, my sister, she's just being petty, she's a failure." Sterling held up a hand, silencing her without a look. "Your sister," he said, standing up to face me, "is the anonymous founder of Aegis Prime. I've spent 6 months and 3 headhunters trying to find the person behind the code that runs my entire firm." He looked at my stunned parents, his smile widening. "You call her a failure?" "I call her the person who just saved my company by showing me exactly who was stealing from it." The fallout was as clinical as a system reboot. By Monday, Sarah's department at Sterling Tech was dismantled, her VP title erased by the very fraud she tried to hide. My father didn't lunge for an apology, he just looked old, a man whose legacy was built on the wrong child's shoulders. Sterling Tech didn't just fire her, they sued for breach of contract. In the void they left behind, I didn't seek revenge, I practiced logic. Aegis Prime acquired the remains of the marketing division from the bank for pennies. I didn't do it for family pride, I did it to protect the 20 engineers Sarah had nearly bankrupted. I rebuilt the brand under my name, on my mother's principles. Walking away from that gala wasn't a loss, it was an act of profound self-preservation. It's the moment you finally stop setting yourself on fire just to keep other people warm. It isn't about losing a family, it's about finally finding your own frequency. Video.